Hey, happy, beautiful, amazing day. Dr. Bob Rakowski here, truth seeker, truth speaker out of Houston, Texas. We got June 1 of 2020 with our SARS-CoV science update. You know, I had a conversation with a very rich patient just before this started, and he said, you know what, Bob, nothing sells like fear. So that could be, something to get somebody to buy something, fear of loss, fear of missing out. I really don't like to use fear as a leverage factor, but certainly it is powerful. Have there been groups throughout human history that have weaponized fear? Oh yeah, absolutely. We call that group terrorists. And I thought we took a stance as a society to try to get rid of that methodology. Shouldn't we focus on what's good, what's pure, what's joy, what's just, which is peaceful, which is health promoting? I think we've got a long way to go, especially since they're weaponizing fear of a virus, and that seems to have escalated a lot of challenges. People often ask me, why should I listen to you? My answer is always the same: don't. I'm going to share facts. I want you to verify them. I want you to do a heart check. Do you have a heart that's focused on love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control, or something other than that? Because I promise you, sages of wisdom have said that is what will lead you to the life you want and the world that we want. But verify that for yourself. Where's Martin Luther King today? We need great leaders like this. And here's what he said: I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never be a reality. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. Well, he created as big a change and an revolution. By the way, I really do believe that most people had good hearts back then. You know, I grew up just as he was coming in to be, and where this segregation and, desegregation was happening. I learned to love others like, like a brother, right? None of that mattered. A child doesn't have any racism. That is taught, and that is taught by people that don't have a clue. Don't buy into that. Just don't. I try not to, do a heart check. That's a better way of saying it. People don't like to be told what to do. Go back and see if this resonates with you. Does unconditional love resonate with you? If you do, then as Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. A little more philosophy today. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. What do you stand for? So this was Stockholm, Sweden, a really nice park just a couple of days ago. And this was part of a newspaper article that was blasting Stockholm and blasting Sweden for killing their people with irresponsible practices. Remember, they didn't quarantine. They didn't have social distancing. They didn't shut down their economy. They said, we're going to take care of our elderly. So let's compare. There's Sweden at the bottom. Now, their population is 10.2 million. They had 37,000 cases, 4,400 deaths. That's a death rate of, for the population, 0.00043. Now, let's use that as the standard. How about New York State? Forget about New York City. New York City is way worse than New York State. But there, look at what they had. With a population of twice as much, they had 10x the cases. What is that? 7x the deaths. And then what's the death rate per the total population? 3.55. So New York, with all of its miserable lockdowns, has 355% higher death rate than Sweden with no restrictions. How about New Jersey? 300% more. How about Illinois? About the same, about the same. I've got a friend who's a doctor in Illinois. Emergency room visit, not busy at all. How about California? Well, they're doing okay. About 1/4 the death rate, but people in California are very upset. They're starting to march on their capitals. What about Massachusetts? 229% the death rate. What about Pennsylvania? About equal. So what did I just copy? Just the first handful of states that appeared, but you start looking at that and you go, okay, what did Sweden do wrong? So it is fake news to say that Sweden is killing their population by keeping them free. What might be more true is New York and New Jersey and other states like that are killing their population, killing their economy, and with their fear mongering, they're creating anxiety and issues that could turn into be very detrimental to our society. Here is Sweden's demographic of death. Notice here that they have to have 9 and under because one child 9 and under died, and then they have a 90 and older category, whereas the US, they say we had a death less than 1, and actually more than 1. I promise you there had to be something significantly challenging with that baby. I heard of a 20-week preemie baby dying, and they called it COVID. I mean, get real. Is that the kind of statistics that we are dealing with? Now let's compare US stats to Sweden stats. And here's the deal. Sweden has 83% of their deaths over the age of 70. We basically used a different split. We didn't have a demographic over 90. So isn't it fascinating? The highest demographic in Sweden was over 90, and then in the US over 85. But look at that. They're 80 to 90, much better than our 75 to 84. They're 70 to 79, much better than our 65 to 64. The numbers are real. Sweden did not kill their population. They sure the heck didn't kill their economy. They didn't create a circumstance that is so volatile like we know that we have. So I'm going to come back to this quote again and again and again. If this rings true with you, share it. Crime, money, power, drugs are all tied together. So do we have a drug problem in the US? Yeah, 4.4% of the world's population, 52% of the world's prescription drugs. Are a few selected power people trying to make major changes that are in their best interest? Yeah, they are. Is there money involved? Sure. Is there crime? Well, that is now indisputable. I'll go back to Martin Luther King because he absolutely had a strategy that worked. Nonviolence means avoiding not only external physical violence, but also internal violence of spirit. You not only refuse to shoot a man, but you refuse to hate him. Sounds like unconditional love to me. Now listen, you can love people from a distance, and a lot of people we need to love from a distance, but send them that love anyways. Truth Seekers Academy is coming. If you're one in, just give me a text. I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful.